So let's go to dynamic conditional correlation. And this model was proposed by Ingo, and that the DCC model extends the CCC GARCH model by allowing correlations to vary over time. It allows the correlations to vary over time. In other words, it allows the correlations to vary over time, that addressing the limitation. It addresses the limitation. It addresses the limitation of the CCC GARCH model. And this is how it is modeled, or it is specified that HT is equals to dt RT dt. So the difference between the CCC is that this RT here does not have a subscript t. And because it does not have time t, it means that time is constant. But now when we come to the other one, we can see we have a subscript t, which means that it is varying over time. It is changing over time. So this dt here is the diagonal matrix of conditional standard deviations of the univariate GARCH. And this RT, this is what we are actually be interested in, is the time varying correlation matrix. Remember, in the other one, we were saying that it is a constant correlation matrix. Yeah, but for this one, we are saying that it is a time varying matrix, meaning that it is changing over time. So this element that now evolves dynamically is based on past market information. And what you should note is that whenever we talk about time or changes over time, it means that the next period information or the next period's behavior will be affected by the past market information. So whenever we have time varying variable, it means that the past information is very significant in influencing the following period behavior. So the correlation matrix RT, it evolves dynamically. So the DCC models introduces two parameters, A and B. Other books will call it lambda 1 and lambda 2. To model the evolution of correlation using the autoregressive process. So the DCC model, so this model here is expanded to this, so that now we can be able to see these two parameters, the two parameters that have been introduced. So by saying that this correlation matrix RT is time varying, we introduce two parameters A and B, or what we call lambda 1 and lambda 2. So to be able to see these two parameters, we have this equation here. And here we have QT, which is a unconditional covariance matrix of standard deviation, is equal to 1 minus A minus B, QT plus Q plus A, which we call lambda 1. These are the standard, the Z values, plus B, QT minus 1. So when we shall be running the analysis, we shall be looking at this parameter and this parameter B, parameter A and parameter B. Then their values, their magnitude, and their significance level will be our interest, and we shall use them to interpret the results. So this is what I have illustrated in this section. So this model is just a simplification of the first one, but what I want to emphasize is this value A and this parameter A and parameter B. So we are saying that this parameter A, which we are calling lambda 1, is the correlation reaction to new shock. It measures how much the current correlation reacts to the previous period's shock. And this lambda 2, B, this B here, is the persistence of past correlation. It is the persistence of the past correlation. It measures how much of the previous period's correlation persists to the current period. So it means a high B, which is close to 1, it means that the correlation changes very slowly. So when you talk about the dynamic model, we are saying that we have introduced two parameters A and B. And remember, in this one, we are comparing two variables. So the first one will tell us the correlation reaction to the new shock. So the correlation between these two variables, how does that correlation behave in case there is some changes in case there is some shock? For instance, there is COVID-19, there is election in our country. How does the correlation between the two behave? That one will be told by this parameter. Then we go to the next, persistence of that correlation. So in case there is correlation between the two, will that correlation last? How long will it take to fade out? That one will be told by the second lambda. So what we look at running the analysis is actually the lambda 1 and lambda 2. So in the DCC model, when new shock hits different markets or assets, for instance, when there is global news, when there is COVID-19, A determines how the correlation jumps or how the correlation changes or how the correlation reacts. That is A, that is just what we have said here. Where B tells us how slowly or quickly the correlations decays back to the normal. If there is change in that correlation, how long will it take to die out? How is the persistence of that correlation? So that is DCC model. You're saying that in DCC model we look at alpha 1, or we look at lambda 1 and lambda 2. So that is just the basic of understanding the DCC model. When we go to the analysis, the practical example, we shall now be able to understand clearly the CCC and the DCC model.